But two things I want to say before we talk about Clay and AD.
Clay and AD.
Okay.
Clay and
One,
AD.
the first thing I want to say is your hair is on point.
Oh,
That's the first thing I want
okay.
to say. I should have said it in the beginning, but I'll say it now.
Thank you.
So your hair is on point. And two, I do want to talk about another individual real quick.
Okay.
Jeramey.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I didn't get it. I didn't quite understand in the finale because I was kind of on the reunion. Cause I was kind of trying to watch as much as I could real quick. Are they together or are they not together?
They're not together.
Okay.
No.
All right. Okay. So, question, and I know we kind of talked about this before in relationships and things like that. So, correct me if I'm wrong. With Jimmy's ex-girlfriend or something like that he was still real cool with?
Oh, right. I don't think they were. I think they're just friends, but he had sex with her. You talking about the one where they met up at like the bar? He met the two girls, and then she found out later that he had slept with the one of them.
Right, I know about that one, but didn't he also say that he was still cool with his exes, or that they were still like good friends, and that he would meet up with? Didn't they have a conversation where he said that he would still meet up with his ex-girlfriend, or he had he had girlfriends that he would go out and hang out with and everything like that?
I believe so, because because it was a whole thing where he was like, "But you still talk, to your exes," and she was like, "But not every day. Like we don't go see each other. It's like on the phone." So yes, I believe he said that.
Okay, so if you're here's a question for you. If you're married or getting married, whatever, how do you feel about going to a relationship or a marriage where your fiance is still real good friends with their ex or their girlfriends, where they talk all day, every day? Suppose that's the person I got, where they're all day, every day, where they hang out all day, where she wants to be kind of a homebody, but he wants to go out and drink every now and then with the girls and stuff like that. I mean, how do you feel about that kind of that correlation?
Back in the day, I would be like, what the, but now at this age, I realize that, we're fully grown people. We have male and female relationships. Males and females can be just friends. I am, still really great friends, best friends, with my ex. And I think when you just like bonded with somebody, it's, that's just how it is. We realized we were supposed to be friends and, nothing more. But it's not like every day we on the phone, he, no, that's not going on. It's not every day we hanging out like, come on over, let's go have a drink. No,
I get that. So if it was like that, could that work?
Well, it would all depend on, without putting his business out there, it would all depend on, first off, I don't see any, let's start with, I'm not he-heing with none of my friends like that. Like, I got a lot going on. Like, I'm busy, and then when I am free, it's like I'm recouping from being busy. It's like I'm tired. So I don't see everybody all day. I don't talk on the phone with everybody all day. And friends, please, like, y'all know my heart, so it's like, look, I do the best that I very can. So I'm not doing that with anybody. But yes, so it would depend on if he's in a relationship or not. Because yes, I do want to respect those boundaries as if I want somebody to respect mine. So no, I'm not going to be calling at all hours, of the night, or, like, oh no, come over here. Oh, you got plans? Cancel those plans. Like, no. We ain't doing that. I'm going to respect what you got going on because I want you to respect what I have going on. So yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if that was the reason why they not together. If it was that she just couldn't.
Yeah, I think it's that, and I think it might have just been a little too much. He seemed like he was kind of being accommodating a lot, and sometimes that could be draining. So, and I'm not saying that they couldn't work it out or couldn't be each other's person, but I think at some point both of them would need to take a step back to heal whatever they have going on, and then come back stronger and healthier in order to make it work. So
right, okay. All right, Clay and AD. You go.
Clay and AD. Clay and AD. Hey.
What's up? You started that off.
I like them together. Like when she first met him, she was like, oh, he's, the typical person that I would go with. And he was all about like what you look like, because I need to know what you look like before I go even further. But even with him saying that, you can just tell that he had like such a good heart, that he was such a good person, that, was truly looking for love, as both of them, were. So, of course, everybody was, rooting for them. Like, we want to see y'all win. And I still think that they can win. And I'm so happy.
What did the winners get besides marriage? I mean, that's a big thing, but I'm sorry. Okay. And let me start all over. Oh yeah, just put that aside. So what I mean is this, let me rephrase the question. So in typical reality shows, the couple they gets together, but then they also win $250,000, $100,000, $50,000. Was there a financial gain in the winner, or is there a clear quote unquote winner of this type of this show? Love Is Blind?
No, nothing like that. So, it's just just marriage is the end goal.
Hey, marriage is amazing, and I get it, but I just know that some other shows, it's not only the couple wins, but they also win a financial reward for the winner. So that's
it would be nice for those that actually said I do, for them to receive some type of monetary award to kind of like set them up for the future. That would be awesome. But then that also might deter some of the people from having genuine relationships, because they might be like, well, we got to get this money.
Like that dude, what that dude, whatever his name, mullet man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
right. So you just never know. But there's a
so marriage is the most important thing out there. It's more valuable than money. So that wasn't my point. I'm trying to get that out there.
Look, I've been married.
There's a ring on it.
Look, I'll say it on air. I am not getting married. Again. Now I will commit to right. You heard what I said. You heard it loud and clear. But so with Clay and AD, Clay really struggled to me throughout the season of, if I'm good enough, will I be a great, husband? Unfortunately, he didn't have, well, in his words, he didn't see, that healthy, relationship with his parents. So he wasn't sure, how it's supposed to go, which that happens with a lot of people. It's like when you don't see it, it's like, okay, I don't know, do I learn from TV shows, to find out how it is I'm supposed to be? So he didn't know. And I will say for Clay that he made it extremely, at least to me, he made it clear, because he said multiple times, like, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I'll be a great husband. I want to be good for you. I think I might need more, time. He reiterated all these things. And I think AD's love for him was just so strong that she was just like, no, we can work on it. Like, you're going to be great. Like, this is going to work. And sometimes we have to really sit back, and I'm not just talking about their relationships, but sometimes just in general, we have to really listen to what somebody is telling us. It's like, if they're saying this one thing, it's like, we have to listen and hear them and take them for how they am. I know with me, in past relationships, I was I can fix you and, make you to be who I want you, to be type person. And it's like, no, boo-boo, like that's not how it works, especially with relationships. It should be two whole people coming in, and then you all just adding, to each other, nourishing, each other. So, and I feel for him, because he really wanted this real bad. He wanted the relationship to work, and he just was like, I need to work on myself. So I commend him for that. Now, I wish he would have made it clear before wedding day and said, AD, I got to go focus on me for a minute. Like I got all this baggage that I'm holding on to. I don't want to bring that into the marriage. Let me go figure this out. And then we can come back and just be this great dynamic relationship instead of waiting until they got to the altar. Cause you know, that's embarrassing. It's hurtful. Here it is that she's under the impression that you all are going to be great. So yeah, I wish he had that like clear cut conversation, but I do commend him for, you know, working on himself, healing all his traumas and becoming a better version of him. So that was great. And AD needs to realize, like, I love you, girl, but you know that you are more than enough. You know, because I know she kept saying, I don't understand. What am I doing wrong? You know, why am I not enough? And it's like, you are, you know, and I think with everything, because she was saying, you know, I wasted my time. And I don't think anything is a waste of time. I think everything is lessons. And maybe the lessons for her to take back is to say, girl, you win, you know, like, right. You know, be confident in who you are, like, because you the shit. So it's like, yes, focus on that. Realize that sometimes, you know, people just got some work that they have to do. And we can't be all to everybody. You know, they have to figure out their things on their own. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts, I love that couple because there's so much stuff you can learn from. One, even though like you talked about how AD kept on feeling like, what more can I do? Am I enough and stuff? But one thing I loved about Clay was that he kept on, you know, at the end, at least, I'm not sure if, you know, throughout the thing, but he kept on saying, you know, because sometimes you hear, it's not you, it's me, you know, you hear that and you're like, yeah, whatever. But you could tell that he really, you know, felt that, babe, you did everything you could do, you know, so right. Don't put yourself down, you know, it has nothing to do with you. And so I'm so glad that she got the chance to believe that at the end, after seeing Clay's mom and dad having that conversation, which is so deep. I'll talk about that in a second. But you know, so the whole thing, you know, I thought it was going to work in the beginning, and then toward the middle of the season, I'm like, I'm not sure, right? Because Clay, you know, he was kind of he wasn't wishy-washy by any means, but he was just, I could just, you know, I could tell he was feeling her, but then I could also tell there was something that he was fighting also.
Yeah, you could see it. Yeah, you could see it.
You could see it. And so, you know, my initial thought was, what does she look like? What am I going to get myself into? You know, because he seems he's very confident, but he also seems the visual person as well. And so I thought that might have been it, that he was like, yeah, I'm falling for this girl, but I don't even know what she looked like. You know, now I'm like, oh shit, what am I doing? But then, you know, you fell back into, oh man, they're you know, they're good. But then when I heard about, you know, her dad, his dad and situation, and how, you know, what the situation between his parents and everything like that, that made me realize, like, a conversation that you and I had a few episodes ago about you never know a person's upbringing and what they're used to, what they're accustomed to, even though, yes, you know, and thankfully he has gotten assistance to break the cycle. But you know, when you see what you see, and that's all that you see, that's all that you live, you know, because just like, you know, a lot of stuff that happens with kids and neighborhoods and crime and stuff like that, that's your surroundings. You are who you hang around. And so he saw that, you know, he lived that. So he didn't just, as a kid, he lived it in terms of seeing what his dad would do, because they said that he took him with him.
Right. Yeah.
Which, you know, to see that, that's what you're accustomed to, and that's what you think is your reality. And so, but then he knows that that's not how I should be. And so so he's still fighting himself. And so I personally don't think that he was ready to enter this type of show. But, you know, for him to see, here's the thing. So, all right. So for him to say no at the altar, that was harsh. You know, I don't know how AD held it together. I mean, of course you could hear what she said at the altar, but I mean, she held it together, you know, and she, so shout out to you, because you did your thing. You know, you were strong, and you will be. I don't know how I would have handled that. You know, however, some people would say, you know, how come he didn't say it before? How come he didn't say it, you know, whatever. But I honestly, you know, believe what he said at the reunion, where he didn't know until, you know, that at that particular moment. You know, because I kind of rewound. That's a little reason why I was a little late, because I rewound it to see like the conversation between Clay and his mom. I rewound again to hear the conversation between Clay and the dad. Everything looked normal.
Yeah.
I didn't see any hesitation. You know, he was smiling, and I thought that he would have said something, or if I thought that the dad would have put some doubt into him. I didn't hear the words coming out of his dad. I didn't hear any words coming out of his mom. And so I thought everything was good. And, you know, and just walking down the aisle, you know, I didn't see anything. The whole ceremony was started. So I didn't see anything for him to have wanted to say, I can't do this beforehand. So I don't fault him for saying no at that time. I wouldn't want to be in AD's shoes at that time. But I wouldn't fault him, because, you know, maybe that was at that moment in time where he was just like, I can't do it, you know, where he's like, okay, maybe he thought that he could go through it and fix himself and all this stuff, but, you know, I'm not at fault. A lot of people were like, how come he didn't do it beforehand? Honestly, I wish he did, to save face and all that stuff, but maybe he didn't feel it until that exact moment in time.
Yeah, no, I think he ultimately made the best decision for both of them if they were going to have any type of healthy relationship in the future. So, I think he did the right thing. I'm like you. I wouldn't have wanted it to happen then, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, she left the show and got a chance to explore and, you know, become even better. And so did he. So hopefully, you know, if this meant for them to be together, they'll, you know, have a great, long lasting, you know, wonderful relationship. Because they seemed, you know, to be good. They seem to complement each other. That would work. Now, this is something that's kind of off topic, but Laura somebody had asked her about the ring. She was like, you see, I'm not wearing the ring.
I missed that part. Okay.
And they were like, so did you give it back? And she was like, no, I'm not gonna give it back. So that just kind of makes me pose like a little question real quick, because I know we've been talking a while. Do you think that an engagement ring should be given back if the engagement is called off?
Okay. No, but I don't think so. I know most guys, and I don't know, a lot of people say but it's my gift to you. And I just think that, you know, to show my love for you, and I think, you know, I just think that it's an investment, and it's just a financial loss. But I would love it back. I would, if she threw it, I would be digging wherever to try to get that sucker back. But I wouldn't expect it back. I would just think, I know I'm kind of softy, whatever, but I would just expect that's my love for you, you know, and I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want it back. If I got it back, okay, we're good. But if I didn't, I wouldn't hold any grudges, and I wouldn't demand it back personally.
That's pretty cool. I was not expecting that from you, and it's weird because I'm like the opposite. I think you should return it, because I think it was like, you know, upon like you all getting together, it was like, okay, I give this to you because we're, you know, getting married, and now that we're not, like, return it because we're not doing this commitment. And I'm kind of like you, sort of, in a sense where I'm like, if we ain't get married, what I want it for? I don't want it to be reminded of us not being together, or how the relationship failed, or I don't want to relive any type of hurt every time I see this ring. It's like, no, go ahead. You keep, you know.
Yeah, that's why I would gladly accept it back. But I look at it as a deposit that's non-refundable.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I look at it. Because I experienced that before. You know, where you put down the deposit and you don't read the fine print, and it says non-refundable.
Right.
And so I kind of look at it as that. But just real quickly, getting back to the Clay's parents, because I want to talk about them. So I look at it.
Conversation.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's to me, that was it right there.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm so glad that they had of course the chance to rewatch it, because I think that gave AD closure and understanding as to why Clay did what he did, or why he felt the way he felt. And I could tell that his love for AD was genuine. I could tell that his love for wanting to change was genuine, because you could see him getting teary-eyed when he started talking about going through therapy and just trying to be a better man and all that stuff. You could see that was genuine. And so I saw that. And then for AD to have that closure where, they went to that circle, whatever she said, that comment, which is so eloquently stated, made that closure where she finally understood, after hearing, the mom and dad talk, that she finally understood why he did what he did, but still not to say it's right or wrong, but she understood, and that gave her the sense of closure and understanding as to what she needed. But man, I got teary-eyed when I saw that conversation between them two, because I've never been divorced, and I've just to see that dynamic, because and I don't know if they were still friends or whatever. I have no idea. That's not the point I'm trying to make. But first of all, Clay's mom is, shout out to you. Strong. I love everything that you said. You rock. You my rock. You go. That's the first thing I want to say about her, because man, I just love everything that she said and everything that she presented herself in just those couple minutes of the clips. But and the way she carried herself, was just amazing. And so I just know that, things don't work and everything like that. But to hear two adults who've been together for, married for 23 plus,
25 years,
and to see that the communication and how, he knew he was at fault and she knew he was at fault, but she still, was still strong enough to carry on. And thankfully and shout out to Netflix to include that in there. To see a couple that unfortunately didn't work, but to show why it didn't work in a sense real quick, and then how strong you could still become after a situation like that. And man, shout out to you, mama.
Right. I do agree with AD's mom. Like we can't let our parents' baggage become our baggage, and that's even like with friends, it's like you can't take on your friend's relationship. You can't make theirs, baggage, where you going around like, I don't like him, I don't hate him, because what happens when they make up? Now you got all this hate in your heart, and they back to lovey-dovey. So yes, but that conversation was dynamic. I think it was wonderful, and I think it was closure for them as well.
I didn't think about it that way, but
to have, especially for the mom, to have that conversation, and it was able for the dad to express himself like, look, I'm sorry, I didn't have, the best upbringing and the best people in my life to guide me and to show me. So, I mean, I'm not sure if he used the words I'm sorry. And sometimes, those are just words anyway. But, he got emotional, like that wasn't my intention to be like this horrible person to you. Like, I feel bad that, it ended this way, and, you were treated this way. So, that I think, everybody kind of needs, that closure to kind of move on. So a lot of people would be like, oh, just walk away, whatever. But sometimes, you need to be able to just close that door, Yeah. You could take a break, walk away for that little break, but come on back.
So overall, like I said, this is have you watched season before this, or was this the first one?
Yeah, I have. You have? I've watched, I think, like the last 3 seasons. I don't know if I watched like the very first one, but yeah, I've watched multiple seasons.
Okay, so with Love Is Blind, I didn't know what to expect, just because I didn't know. And so after seeing the first episode, I'm like, okay, this is cool, but I guess my question is, how do you feel about meeting someone and just because like a lot of these reality shows are whatever in 90 days or whatever this, but with Love Is Blind, it's pretty much similar, where you're meeting, it's kind of like an interview, but then you get a chance to really, really feel them out. But how do you feel about getting into a relationship and then getting married or in a such a short amount of time? I mean, is that, because sometimes there's people you hear, you know when you know, and things like that. I mean, is it really like just you just got that feeling and you do it? Because I've seen some that they just knew and then they got married quickly and they've been together forever. Some of course didn't work. Cause I see a lot of people getting married 18, 19, and they just think, hey, this is the one. And some it lasts, you see stuff 50, 60, 70 years, but then some you see, nah, it didn't work. Getting an annulment.
Yeah. I do think sometimes you can just know. I know I've had someone in the past where, I've met them and I'm like, yeah, this person is supposed to be in my life for a lifetime. And I think when you just like have that initial meet, it's like, yeah, it's like you just feel like that connection. So I do think that some people can be like, when you know, when you see somebody, it's like, yeah, that's my person. So with whatever form that comes, whatever, if that person is supposed to be, your person is supposed to be your friend, or your person is, romantic partner, whatever the case may be. I think sometimes you can just know. So can I fall in love with someone or love someone in a short amount of time? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, I still have to, get to know them. Will I just jump the gun and be like, okay, let's get married?
Yeah, that's my point, because I know you can love someone quickly. I know that, but just like with Clay, he made a comment about just the whole marriage. I mean, that's life. That's togetherness. That's sharing bank accounts. That's religion. That's kids. That's where you're gonna live. How what type of job did you have? Or it's so much more than I love you, you love me. Let's do it. It's more of, okay, we gotta live our life together in terms of everything. And so that's why I look at it where, can you really do that to where nothing about let's say had the conversation about politics, religion, and because that's gonna have a some people are really strong-minded about situations of politics and religion and work and this, that, and the other. And do you need to talk about that beforehand, or do you get married and then figure it out?
Right. Yeah, I would definitely have to have those tough conversations prior to me saying I do. Like, these are things that I think, you all should have some type of, understanding
But did any of them have that though?
Well, yeah, I mean, they do. Right after they leave the pods, they do move in together and all that. So that I don't remember how long it was in. So they do have time to actually live like a married couple. So you would hope that you had those conversations. During that time, they meet the friends, they meet the family. So you would hope that they would have had those. Okay. Those,
because I know they didn't air that. That's why I wasn't sure if they were actually if they actually talked about. I know it's boring to most people, but Clay made he made a valid point though. Just we get sharing this and sharing that, and I know they talked about closets and looked in the refrigerator and looked at the Roombas and all that stuff. But with Love Is Blind, I mean, it really is, because if you don't know, that's a big step as well.
It would have been nice to for them to have some behind the scene clips where they could have had those conversations. So for people like us who are a little bit more inquisitive, you don't have to put it in that, because that'll bore a lot of people out. But I would like to know that they had those conversations, because then I'll kind of also base my premise on some decisions that were made as well. Because a lot of times you're just talking, how did you grow up? Oh, you talk about what your likes and dislikes are, or your top 25 questions that you want to ask them or whatever. But I wonder what was on Matt. I think his name was Matthew. What were on some of his questions? I bet you they somewhere. He was straight strategic. So I wonder. So they were all. Who knows? Nope. Okay. Nope. You're you're this. Nope. You're that. Nope. Who knows? But look, I'm just happy we got an opportunity to watch the show, to tune in. Right? Yeah. I'm glad with Amy and Johnny. I hope you guys, longevity, wish that for you all. You seem like a great couple. Hopefully Clay and AD, you all find your way and all that. And let's toast to watching Love Is Blind.
I'll toast to some water this time. I ran out of my drink.
And as always, you guys, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We want to hear from you guys. We want to engage with you all. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. We know we were a little long-winded, but we had to talk about Love is Blind. I mean, woo, what a show. What a show.
And there'll be many more.
Right. Absolutely. So, okay, Kion, how can everybody reach you?
Absolutely. Thank you. I almost forgot about that. I can be reached at Kion said 37. And how can you be reached, Miss Precious?
Precious said 888. Yeah. Come follow your girl.
Absolutely.
see what I'm doing.
Big things.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You talk about you said I'm glowing or something. What did you say I look like?
You look like you glowing. You know how they say pregnant women have a glow. You just look like you glowing. You talking about you look interesting. Oh my goodness.
Oh, does this look okay?
What do you think is
brown.
wrong with you? Yeah, you do look brown. That's why I was like, you look like you.
What the heck? Can I change the guide?
I know what was going on.
Because your voice changed too.
Really? Oh, that's weird.
Oh, it's probably my ears. So to answer your question, so I watched one and what?
He's talking about it might be my ears. But go ahead, you watched what?
Stuff just comes out, man.